Hello, so this is a quick tutorial on how to set up Browservice with your Wii through the internet channel. So to do this, you're first going to need to make sure you have a couple things. You're going to want an internet connection, preferably your home internet connection. Make sure it's a secure one because if it's a public internet connection like, some shops internet connection or a hotel internet connection, there can be some malicious actor that, you know, signs into stuff and, might cause problems. So make sure you only do this if you're on a home internet connection, and there are ways to connect your Wii directly to your computer so that you don't necessarily have your Wii publicly on the network, but we're not going over that. We're going over the simplest method that you can do at home. So assuming that's all good, you're going to want to connect your Wii and your computer to the same connection. Doesn't matter if one is wired or they're both wireless, as long as they're both on the same connection. Then you're also going to need a Wii that has the internet channel installed. And if you don't have the internet channel installed, that's not necessarily a problem, because if you can mod your Wii, then you can go ahead and install the WAD through alternate means. But just make sure you have the internet channel. And so also, of course, you need a Wiimote to interact with your Wii. And one last thing, you need a USB keyboard to plug in to the very back of your Wii here to make sure you can type, because on Browservice, they don't let you type if you don't have a USB keyboard. So make sure you have all of that stuff properly configured. And assuming that's all good, then let's get started. So first thing, you're going to want to head to the Browservice GitHub page. You can just look up Browservice and this will come up. And so now you're going to hit releases. And you need either a Linux or Windows machine. Sorry, Mac users. But since I'm on Windows, I'm going to download the Windows 64 zip file. And so just go ahead and wait for that to download. And once that's downloaded, you're going to want to right click on it and hit extract all, or just extract it with whatever tool you have, WinRAR, 7-zip, whatever it is. But this is the simplest way. And then you can go ahead and move this directory wherever you want. I'm going to just move that one directory up to make it a little less redundant, and you can also delete the zip file now because you no longer need it. So now that you've got this open, you need to open this directory in a terminal. So I have a shortcut where I can just open it in terminal there, but assuming you don't have that, you can go ahead and look up terminal. If you don't have terminal, then go ahead and use the command prompt. So it's going to ask you for admin access. I would recommend having it. So now that you're here, go ahead and copy this directory for where your Browservice is located. Type in cd space and then paste that directory, and now you should be in that directory in terminal. And once you've got that set up, now you can go ahead and head back to the main Browservice page where the README is, and scroll down until you get to the section that is proxy server configuration. And you're going to want to copy the command that is for your platform. So for me, I'm in Windows, so I'm going to copy this one right here. And I'm going to head back to my terminal, paste it in, and press enter. Now the Browservice server is running successfully. So that's basically all set up. But before you go to your Wii, you have one last thing you need to do on your computer end, and that is make a new window or a new tab in terminal and type in ipconfig. And then once you've done that, you're going to want to look for whichever one is your current internet connection. For me, it's this Ethernet here. It might be wireless. Just look for it. And you're going to want to take note of this IPv4 address here. And so for me, it's 192.168.194. It might be different for you. It might be sort of similar, but just take a note of that because you will need to be typing this into your Wii. So once you've got all of that done, you can just sort of leave this running, and now you're free to switch to your Wii. So now that we're on our Wii, of course, make sure it's connected to the internet and boot up the internet channel. Once that's done, you're going to want to go ahead and hit the web address bubble here. And now you're going to want to type exactly what I type, http:// not HTTPS, because the Browservice server only accepts HTTP requests. Then you're going to want to type in the IPv4 address that you just read on your computer earlier. That's the IPv4 address of your computer, and this is going to allow your Wii to connect to your computer. And once you've typed that in, now type a colon and 8080. And now that you've done that, you're free to just hit OK. And if everything was configured properly and both of your devices are connected to the same network, then you should be seeing what is a blank screen with a little address bar at the top. So you can go ahead and hit this address bar, and the only way to type from now on is using a USB keyboard. So this is why you need a USB keyboard. If you want to look stuff up, go to Google. Don't type it in this address bar, because this address bar is only for websites specifically. But once you've done that, you're basically good to go. Now you can go ahead and just type anything in, look it up, watch YouTube videos, browse Twitter, browse basically any modern website you can think of. It may be a little bit janky, but as long as your computer is able to access that website, your Wii should now be able to access the website. And of course, to scroll, you have to either use the USB keyboard or hit the scroll bar on the side, and it may be a little bit laggy. That's normal. Also, if you want to turn the quality down, if you think your frame rate is too low, just go ahead and change this number at the very top right. I would probably set it to about 50. You might notice a bit of compression artifacts, but it might make it a little less laggy in terms of frames. Like, you should be able to scroll a little smoother now. Well, not really, but if you have wired connections for both your Wii and your computer, this would make it a lot easier, and it would be a lot smoother. I would recommend primarily a wired connection for your Wii, which I don't have, but as long as your internet is good, it should be very much usable. So yeah, now you've got Browservice set up, and happy browsing.